Glad to have you with us for another episode of Celebrity Catwalk. We're here with a real rock star in the world of green living and ethical fashion. Chloe Jo Davis was honored for her philanthropic achievements by paid fashion forward and LL Cool J, and voted an ethical fashion icon by Veg News magazine. For 16 years, her blog Girly Girl Army has amassed tens of thousands of followers. There are many layers to the onion that is Chloe Jo Davis. So first of all, thank you for being here, Chloe Jo.
And thank you for calling me an onion. I might smell like one. I don't know.
Hopefully not.
Let's hope not, because then all the hippie stereotypes would be really on point.
Oh no, we don't want that.
Definitely not.
Speaking of that, have you always been a vegan? How did that start? What was the catalyst?
No, I was the girl that went out for steaks with the guys, and I was throwing down, and I never wanted vegetables. I mean, I could eat a whole chicken. I loved meat more than anyone, and that's why I say to everybody, you can gently lean into it and have a complete change in life, because I'm the perfect example of an extreme carnivore who went plant-based.
Okay, so did you find it difficult? How did you, because you said you were an extreme meat eater.
I was an extreme carnivore.
And being an extreme carnivore to extreme vegan, is
Right.
there like a term for that?
I don't know. I
How
think
did the transition
I
happen?
call it a bit of an aha moment. I met a vegan who sort of gave me some literature to read, and I started doing my own due diligence, which I advise to anyone interested in any lifestyle choices. I went and visited farms. I read books. I watched a really incredible documentary called Earthlings, and I watched Peaceable Kingdom. And when I saw those documentaries, it was a no turning back moment for me as someone who'd come to love animals later in life. And I realized that I couldn't look in my dog's eyes again and eat anything that also had eyes and a heart and a spirit and a will to live and a sentient being, essentially, because they all do have voices and feelings, and they all, even like chickens, have over 15 discernible words that they use to communicate with each other. So I started really learning a lot and volunteering and getting involved in animal rights. And once I realized that I could eat really decadently and gourmet and eat unbelievable foods and be vegan and eat meat, like I eat a ton of meat, it's just vegan meat. I eat all this gourmet, incredible cashew-based cheese, but it's all just happens to be plant-based and healthier and better for you.
I've had cashew cheese and I like it.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
All right. Well, there's an all-vegan cheese shop in Brooklyn called Dr. Cow's.
Oh, wow.
Which is amazing, an amazing special place.
I might check it out.
Check it out.
So it seems actually healthy and eco-friendly is the thing to do right now. It seems very on trend.
Faddish,
Do you attribute people becoming vegan or living that lifestyle going with the fad, or do you think it's more of a lifestyle that's here to stay?
I definitely think it's here to stay, because there were people making their own tofu, in the 60s and 70s. I think we're seeing a lot of that in fashion, people coming back to sort of a 70s look.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think, right. So
bring back those bell bottoms.
Right. So, and you know what it is? It's interesting, because someone said to me the other day, what is sustainability? What really is the gunk of green living? And I said, it's really just being sensible. It's like your grandma. It's like save things, don't throw things away, reuse things, be
basics.
conscious. It's just about being conscious. It's like thinking before you do something. So I don't think it's a trend that's going anywhere. And however, someone was saying to me the other day, well, aren't you pissed because Beyonce's vegan now, but she still wears fur? And I say, whatever's going to get people to be a little kinder, who cares? It's like kind, small, incremental, kind choices that make the world go round. And so if seeing Beyonce eating, a tofu burger at Real Food Daily in Los Angeles is going to make someone else make a kind choice. The thing is also that green living is, veganism and green living you can't tear them apart, because eating green,
they're one and the same.
It's one and the same. So you can't be really a meat-eating environmentalist, but that's another conversation.
Okay. So as a mom, do you find raising children in this type of society, do you find it difficult, or do you find it just kind of live as you are? How do you
That's a really good question. So I liken that to being raised in any sort of ethnic or religious background. I was raised an Orthodox Jew. So I never had, pig or anything like that. And so I was also raised to eat only kosher foods. So I didn't know any differently. And I was following the ethos of my family. My family had these set of ethics, and I was following them. And when I grew up, I could make my own decisions. And that's the same thing with my children. Like, they're just being raised according to my morals, and then they can make their own decisions as they grow. And it's interesting, someone brilliant once said, and I can't tell you exactly who it was because I don't remember right now, but if you put a baby in a crib with a carrot or a bunny, which are they going to eat and which are they going to play with?
Aww.
So compassion is really innate for us. We just we key into it and we tune out all the horrors in the world because we have to in order to survive. It's like human instinct.
Now, I told you when you came in that you were the happiest mom that I have ever seen in a long time. How do you juggle the children and your blog, the Girly Girl Army? How do you juggle all of that, your work and your life? How do you make your life with the children, how do you fuse it into one?
So there is nobody who has it all, obviously, but I always wanted to be a mom, so I'm living my dream. But I'm not running a Fortune 500, so there's definitely sacrifices I made. I mean, there are a lot of women who will sit down and say they can run a Fortune 500 and have 5 children, and for sure they're lying and have 6 nannies behind the scenes. But so I do as much as I can with the time that I have, which means sometimes working at midnight, and I'm lucky enough that I have a husband who also can help out a lot, and he owns a number of companies, so he can come and go and be involved in the kids as he wanted to as well.
Wow.
I'm very passionate about attachment parenting, which is just keeping your children close to you. So far so good.
You brought in Kinsley today. Kinsley's your youngest, right?
So Kingsley's 6 months, Freedom is 3, and Panther's 5.
And you have 3 cats.
I have 3 cats. We had 2 dogs who passed last year.
I'm sorry to hear
We're
that.
Thank you. We're very passionate about animals, obviously. And I think it's because it was one of those things that came too later, because my family couldn't keep a pet alive to save their lives. Any pet that came in went out in a box like within days.
Oh, no!
It's terrible. Like now my mom has a rescue dog, which is crazy because she's so not an animal person. She finally became one, which is unbelievable. But yeah, so I just became an animal person late in life, and I was madly in love with my dogs and lived alone in the East Village in my 20s with these 2 big pit bull mutts, and they were like my children.
You are definitely an incredible living example of being a vegan. What's your favorite part about living this life?
The people, for sure. It's like a superior breed in a way of people. Like I've never met such unbelievably kind, thoughtful friends. I mean, they're all brilliant too. It's not like people where you sit with them and they have nothing interesting to say. Everybody's like got some, like written their dissertation and through Harvard or something. Everyone's brilliant, and if they're not brilliant, they're super, super conscious. And I think I learn things from our community every day, and I've never felt more a part of a community than since going veg.
Girly Girl Army, it's a weekly blog. How do you find fresh content every week? How do you make it interesting?
It's daily.
Daily?
Right, it's daily. And then the newsletter is weekly. And you know, there's a lot of copycats now. I mean, there's a lot of people doing green living stuff. When I started this blog on making green living sexy, which was the whole reason is because I came into this, and at the time I was a nightlife promoter and I was a glamour girl, and I didn't go anywhere without huge stilettos and fake eyelashes and a drink in my hand. I mean, I was throwing parties at 16 years old in New York City. I was on the cover of the Village Voice as New York's hottest party promoter in my early 20s. So that was really my life. And when I came into this life, I was like, I don't fit in at all. I'm not going to start wearing hemp. I'm not going to start, you know, I'm not going to be that girl.
Not for me.
Not for me. So I was looking online and I was like, where are the other people like me? And I couldn't find them. And remember, this is 20 years ago now. So I decided to create that world. So now, of course, there are a lot of copycats, but I was the original what? And so anyway, but I'm happy to see the copycats come in, because that means people are making more ethical choices.
Last question. What is the secret to your success?
Bustling. Like just hauling ass,
Not
never
hustling,
sitting.
but bustling.
Bustling.
You have taken it to another level.
Another level. Like I never stop. I always have I'm always triple tasking with a baby on the boob and chopping vegetables and doing whatever I have to do, and just making it happen. I just don't sit. I just move. There's time to sleep when you're dead.
Thank you, Chloe Jo, for showing up here today.
Thanks.
Go to girlygirlarmy.com, and that's where you can get the Get Down on the Glamazon movement.
Good.
Celebrity Catwalks Pause in the City is a pet-centric weekend that takes place here in New York City twice a year. Making their debut at our December event is Boardwalk Doggies. So it's a great treat to have Natasha Morosi, owner and designer of the Boardwalk Doggies, here to give us a little furry fashionista show and tell. Thank you, Natasha, for being here.
And thank you for having me.
So what led you to start designing for doggies?
Wow. About 2 years ago, I had 2 Chihuahua mixes, both rescue dogs, named Nucky T and Luciano. And the 2 of them would basically romp around the city with me completely naked. No clothes, no coats, just harnesses. And the only time I would actually dress them up in anything would be like fall or winter because of the oppressive weather. So their winter getup would consist of layering handmade sweaters with like bubble jackets and shearling coats. So if you could imagine my Chihuahuas waddling around like armadillos, it was definitely a comedic sight.
Oh my goodness.
But what happened was one winter, Luciano started gaining a little bit of a weight. So I faced an issue where none of the coats fit in terms of the girth. And so I said to myself, why don't I just make him a coat? And so what I did was I went to the garment district, I bought some amazing tapestry material, and I designed this coat that I thought was really worthy of his regal looks because he was black Chihuahua, long legs, beautiful chest, beautiful face. And he had this, he had this like air of royalty about him. And so I totally made him a coat that I thought was fit for his regal looks. And once I started walking around with him in the coat, and everybody, you know, I would get comments by strangers, family, friends, like real accolades of the design that kind of just what kicked it off. So Boardwalk Doggies was born out of necessity.
Tell me about this design here. Was this Luciano inspired? Because this looks fairly regal and royal. I would think so, yeah.
That's that piece is called the Marrakesh braided vest. And yeah, it's definitely inspired by some of my travels.
This one too, yes?
Absolutely. That's the Mykonos braided vest. And both of those, I mean, Mykonos and Marrakesh, they're areas that I've visited. And as a very ravenous adventurer, I love to travel the world, and so a lot of the cultures and the artistic aspects, you know, of my travel and the people, like find their way into a lot of the pieces that I make.
So tell me about sizing. I noticed that this one right here is teeny weeny. If I had a kitty, my kitty would fit this. But tell me how this one is different from the royalty design.
Different in terms of sizing,
Size.
or yeah. Well, the
This
one
one
that
is
you
very
have,
tiny.
yeah, they're really cute. They're really cute faux leather, and it's cruelty free.
Hooray.
Faux leather gray vest that's called the Stoneheart vest, and it has a really cute blue sequined applique on it.
So beautiful.
Thank you. It's actually a size extra, extra small, and so teeny tiny guys, like the teacup guys. Yeah. But
So how about all the plus size doggies out there? Can we get some plus sizes in here, please?
You mean the big boned?
Yes, big boned doggies. Can we talk about that?
We can definitely talk about that because Luciano, who was the subject of our earlier story, actually is now he's achieved sausage status, and so he has coats that I make for him that are kind of small, but then have extra length in. If you look at this coat here, you'll notice that there are some straps that I use for closures here. So the straps are adjustable in that they have, you know, yeah, Velcro. So
it's
you
from
can
the
adjust
underside.
them. Absolutely, you can adjust the size. However, in a case where you have a dog that has, you know, a little bit more of a belly, a little bit more girth, I would wind up making a little longer length belt for that.
I actually
Absolutely.
like this one. What is the inspiration on this one? Can you see with the bows? What's the inspiration on this?
So this piece that you're holding right now, this is called the Cocoa Walking Coat.
I like it already.
It's a gorgeous piece, right? The Cocoa Walking Coat was actually inspired by the legendary Coco Chanel. So yes, a pioneer and a game changer. I love it. Coco Chanel, yes, of the fashion world. Absolutely.
Very nice. I like this one. Tell me the inspiration. This is actually two worlds apart. This one is very beautiful and elegant, and this one has spikes and fleece lined. Wow.
Right, yeah, open that up so they can see. And then you can see my logo too.
Ooh,
this
I'm
is
warm.
really cute. So yeah, so the piece that you're holding right now is actually, let me see the front of that.
It's like a denim
Yeah, so
mix.
it's the Power Slave studded denim vest, which is actually an Iron Maiden inspired piece. And so I mean, as you can see, a lot of metal finds its way, metal bands and the genre itself finds its way into an actual collection that I call Rock This. I'm a music lover. I love metal. I mean, I play guitar, electric guitar, and Iron Maiden is one of my absolutely favorite bands. And so, yes, I mean, if people can walk around with tribute vests and tribute leather coats, then our fur babies can too as well.
Very nice. Why not? Shout out to Iron Maiden.
Absolutely.
So tell me about, where do you see the line progressing? Where do you see it ending up?
Well, at this point, I'm a fairly new brand, and so in terms of development, there's a lot that I've been doing to develop and expand the brand. And so, you know, I have several different collections. And what people will see from me in the next few months is going to be an addition of some ladies' attire, meaning dresses, like couture dresses and things of that nature. And there's some other things that I've been thinking about that are in the plans, but I'm not going to share them.
You're
just
not going to share?
Not sharing them just yet.
Share. Please tell us what Boardwalk Doggies has going on, please.
All right, well, maybe I can give you one thing.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I have some really artistic pieces that are going to come out. Harnesses and leashes. So think very, they're almost like wearable pieces of art. So yeah, so
I like it
that's
already.
something that's going to be on the forefront very soon.
And then, sorry.
The name.
Tell me about the name Boardwalk Doggies. How did you arrive at such an incredible name? Are you from the beach? How did you grow up? What is that?
Well, okay, born and bred New York City, although I am admittedly a borough bouncer. So
Borough bouncer.
Absolutely. Hopping from borough to borough.
Okay.
Yeah, Manhattan, Queens, Staten Island, you know, Brooklyn, the Bronx. No, I haven't been there yet. So
Uncharted territory.
Uncharted territory. Haven't been there yet. Have no plans to go there yet. But nothing against the Bronx. But yeah, so definitely. So born and bred New York City, and like I said, I started out with two Chihuahua rescues. I have four now. Two, Nucky T and Luciano. And so Nucky T, when I adopted him, he was so cute. Little giraffe body, really spindly legs, really, really skinny, green eyes, beautiful green eyes, and totally reminded me of Steve Buscemi's character from Boardwalk Empire. I don't know if you know the series, but I was a big fan of the series. And so I looked at him, I said, wow, he reminds me of this Irish gent, an elderly gent, you know, who's had too many women and imbibed too much alcohol, and Nucky T it was. And then Luciano, which I adopted about 7 months later, I was working for a criminal law firm at the time, and they were heavily involved in mob-related cases. And so Luciano, being very, you know, he was like the boss of our house. He had this poise, he had this air, you know, really supreme like quality, and became after Lucky Luciano. So
very cool.
Hence, you know, the two main characters of Boardwalk Empire. I said, hey, I have these two dogs, you know, so kind of came up on the fly. Boardwalk Doggies. It just fit.
What a history. Last question. What is the price range of each of these pieces? So we have the regal looking, the faux leather, the diamond studded and bows, Coco Chanel. What kind of price are we talking
Okay,
here?
well, first I'll tell you, there's a couple of different collections. So like I have a harness collection, which would include the Stoneheart harness that we looked at before. I have a Fit for Royalty collection, which includes the coats like the Coco Chanel. I have a Sophisticate collection, which includes these beautiful the pieces like the Marrakesh and the Mykonos, and some of these wonderful like Gambia fabrics, like this black and gold that you have right here. These really richly textured fabrics. This is part of the Sophisticate collection. Then I have the Stud Muffin collection, which would, of course, entail studs and some premium upcycled denim. And then I have the Rock This collection, which we took a look at before, but I'll show you a different one. This is a Ride the Lightning studded denim vest.
Love it.
Tribute to Metallica, and has a fleece lining. So super soft, super comfortable. That's one of the biggest, most important things right after style to me, is that the pieces are comfortable. Because if your dog is uncomfortable and won't wear it, what's the point? I mean, you know, why pay to look like a rock star if you can't play like one? So, but anyway, the prices start at around $120, $115, and they go all the way up into the 200s. Pretty much the coats start around 200, and the harnesses start about 115, 120, and the vests will be between 140 and 160.
That's doable.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the quality is like second to none. If you just take a look at the way these pieces were made, I mean, we can pick up, for instance, I will grab the Augustine studded harness. Now, if you feel the fabric on the tapestry fabric, and
nice.
there's some Greco-Roman inspired studding on there, which are all they're hand studded. So each piece, open it up.
Now, did you say that, I'm sorry, but did you say that you make these yourself?
Oh, absolutely. So if you check, okay, so check out how
One-stop
beautiful this is, right?
wow.
This velour and how rich that is, but how well it's made. And
Yes,
so,
high quality.
yeah, and that's my logo right there. That's my logo. If you check out, show them the logo. Okay, so yeah, we designed the logo. The little guy in the middle, which is actually on the hang tags as well, is actually my very own Mini Munch. So third in command, Boardwalk Doggies ambassador.
Oh my
Mini
goodness,
Munch,
it is so cute. Does he get royalties for this?
Oh, please, Aria. In treats, right? Oh, please. But yeah, but I mean, it's the quality, the craftsmanship. Each piece is handmade, like I said, and the attention to detail. And I test everything out. One of the things that I really like to do in terms of the brand to make sure that what you're buying, you know what I mean, I can stand by, is that I test all the pieces out. So from prototype to finish, my dogs, and I have two rip-roaring, crazy young bucks, we'll test them. Everything's reinforced. All of the D-ring attachments, there's reinforcement, and yeah, and so for sure.
Beautiful. Thank you so much,
Oh,
Natasha,
you're welcome.
for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate it. Head to boardwalkdoggies.com to get more information and many of these other designs. That's it. Thanks for joining us today. See you next time. And in the meantime, check us out at celebritycatwalk.com. Bye.
Bye.